This is the Experienced Optimist, and I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. It's about like how a woman can say she loves you. She can act like she loves you. She'll tell you how great you are. She'll say she'll be there for you all the time, and just basically say she loves you, act like she loves you. Then all of a sudden she'll just disappear, or she'll flip the script on you, and then go crazy, and then say she never loved you, and it was all a game she was playing, and she was selfish, and act like she never loved you at all. This video is just to give you guys some perspective on how I believe a woman thinks when it comes to the shallow relationships that she maintains essentially her whole life. I remember when I was younger, the people in my life were pretty transitory. They would come into my life, exit my life. So I never really put too much stock into developing long-term relationships. In my mind, everything was just a short-term relationship because everyone was going to leave anyway. I mean, even in the military, so many people come to a base, come to a ship, a particular military installation, they come and go. And they do it so frequently that you can get into the habit of not developing long-term relationships. And that's the habit I fell into when I was younger. People would come into my life. I would develop a shallow relationship. On the surface, it looked pretty cool. It looked like I was the friend. We would go out party, have a good time, play poker, all that small stuff. But then I'll be able to cut off a relationship just like that. A person's leaving, going somewhere else, I would just say, okay, cool, it's nice to meet you. And that was that. I never put too much stock in to saying to myself, this person's pretty cool. Maybe I should keep in contact with this person because maybe this may open up some opportunities later on down the line. I didn't think like that. But later on, I realized that the people who did think like that came out ahead. They still have those long-lasting friendships to this day. And that's the thing I think that women do. I think women develop these shallow relationships not thinking about the long-term ramifications of what happens when your beauty fades. What happens when people just aren't really willing to invest in you the same way they're willing to invest in you when you were younger and more attractive? What happens then? And that's what I found out with women. Women will have these shallow relationships, and then later on, they'll be looking for someone to be there by their side to help them out. But no one will be around, and then they'll get mad and they'll blame it on everybody else. it was everybody else's fault that they didn't invest in long-term relationships and cultivate those relationships. And the one thing that happened to me is that I had an epiphany. And when I had that epiphany, I realized that I asked myself, why was I not cultivating those relationships? I mean, ultimately, I should have been doing it because it benefits me long term. And I realized something about myself at that time. The reason why I didn't do it is because I simply didn't care. And that's what I've noticed about women. Women, when they're in a relationship with a lot of people, it could be their kids, boyfriend, husband, they simply don't care. And the reason why they don't care is because they always think that someone else is going to come around and be there for them. Just like I always thought that there's always someone else going to come to a base. If I lost this one friend, they were TDY, I didn't need to keep in contact with that person. I didn't need to foster a relationship with that person because there's always some more people coming to the base. I could just hang out with them and everything would be cool. And that's how women think. There's always going to be another guy coming around the pipe. You know, one of the kids, if she manipulates them correctly, is always going to take care of her. And that's why you see women, as they get older, and no one's around anymore, that they kind of have this, they develop this kind of neuroses and kind of self-destructive tendencies. Because instead of coming to that epiphany the same way I did, they continue to create these shallow relationships and they don't learn. And then they blame it on everybody else. And I'm not saying that men don't do this too. I mean, men definitely do it too. But society is set up in such a way that it always tells women that, hey, you are a goddess. You're a diva. You deserve all this stuff. Hey, don't do the right way and put time and effort into the relationships. Other people should be putting in time and effort for you. You just sit back and relax because you're a goddess. So anyway, that was just something on my mind. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I hope that gave a little bit more perspective on why women think the way they do in some cases and maintain those shallow relationships. If you like what you're hearing in the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, support other Mgtow channels. And remember, this is not about race, color, creed. This is about all men, helping them go their own way. Peace out, gentlemen.